going on, everybody? For those of you who are new to the channel, my name's Clark Hill. I've been working out consistently for about 10 years now. If you've seen any of my videos up until now, you know that it's a lot of goofy, funny stuff. I do recipe videos, healthy versions of junk food, things like that, impressions, gym comedy, but today I don't really want to do any of that. I just kind of want to talk to you straight about what kind of got me over the hump between lifting weights and not really seeing the progress that I wanted to make to finally getting the physique that I have now, and more importantly, how I maintain it. So to give you a little bit of a backstory, growing up, basically from like literally my whole life, probably up until the point I was about 18, I was like the skinny kid. I like could not put on weight to save my life. I think growing up when I would go to the doctor to, get your checkup and things for school, I was consistently in like the lowest, like the 10th percentile for weight, where the doctor was like, yo, this kid needs to like eat a steak or something. Dude, this is getting a little, this is a little much. Like the emo skater kid body, that type of physique. That was what I had growing up. And then when I got to college, that kind of changed, where I definitely put on not even the freshman 15, probably more like the freshman like 30. But I think it was a lot of like, fraternity living, just drinking a bunch of beer and just eating like whatever and like not really being that active. 20 years old, I was in pretty much like the worst shape of my life. Like one day I just looked in the mirror, I was like, dude, I'm fat. Never been fat before. I don't want to be fat. I had messed around with some workout plans up until then. I did P90X for like a week, stuff like that. I saw an ad for one that was, get a 6-pack of abs in 90 days. And I was like, okay. And I thought to myself, I'll bet any one of these programs would give you the results it says it's going to give you if you just like followed it to a T, did exactly what it said. I was like, you know what? That's what I'm going to do. So for 3 months, I, was home for the summer. I worked construction for my dad during the days, and then either after work or before work, I would go and lift weights. And that's when I kind of started taking dieting and nutrition seriously. The program that I did had you really on the hardcore meal prep approach, and so I was like super diligent, had my little Tupperwares of chicken and rice and vegetables and stuff, and lo and behold, at my heaviest point when I was 20, I think I was a little over 200 pounds. And when I got back, when I went back to school when the summer was over, I had lost about 30 pounds. I actually had some abs. Looking back on it, and I didn't realize this at the time, but when I got back to college, I slowly started slipping into the same lifestyle that I was living when I, gained all the weight in the first place, which like drinking a bunch, eating whatever. And don't get me wrong, I was still meal prepping and working out, but I didn't really understand how to balance it and make it a lifestyle yet. I was following that rule, 80% healthy, 20% whatever you want. Let's just say I overdid it with the 20%. So a couple years ago, I just finally looked at it. I was like, okay, hold on. I'm lifting weights 5 days a week. I'm doing my little meal preps. The physique that I have does not reflect the amount of effort I'm putting in. What is going on? And so I realized that it was time, I thought, for a different approach. First of all, I started being just more active. The shift really happened during all the COVID lockdowns of all times. Read a thing that was saying, try to shoot for 10,000 steps a day. And I thought to myself, well, all the gyms are closed, can't work out anywhere. One thing I can do is just walk around. So I started doing 10,000 steps a day. That happened for a few months, and I finally started noticing, oh, this is actually doing something. Don't get me wrong, I would still work out, but it was really limited to body weight workouts, pull-ups, push-ups, things like that, because that's all I could do. The biggest key to being in shape is just be active. And it doesn't have to be a big concerted effort. It can be small things, like if you live in an apartment like I do and you're on the 3rd floor, take the stairs instead of the elevator. When you're going to the grocery store, park kind of far away. Don't look for the front spots. You have to walk a little further. Shit like that. The second thing, I made the shift away from traditional hardcore bodybuilder meal prepping to flexible dieting, the if it fits your macros approach, which basically just means that your macronutrients are 3 things: protein, carbs, and fat. And the idea is that as long as you're hitting the numbers that you need to be hitting every day, you're eating the correct amount of protein, carbs, fat for your physique goals, you can kind of eat whatever you want. People at the gym ask me what my diet consists of, and they don't believe me when I tell them. I'm like, let's see. Well, for breakfast today, I had some steak and eggs and French fries. For lunch, I had, did like a copycat version of Carl's Jr. Ultimate Burger, and I had some pop chips with that. And then later that night, I had some cinnamon rolls, and they're like, wait, what? No, you do not eat like that and look like this. That doesn't make any sense. And I was like, it does make sense when you look at the numbers. The number one priority, at least for me, obviously you have to meet your macros and calories and all that, but the number one priority is that it has to taste good. If it doesn't taste good, then you're not gonna stick with it. You might stick with it, but not for very long. I still eat Pizza Hut and things like that. The only difference is I just make it myself, and I make it fit into my macros by using higher protein, leaner cuts of meat, things like that, healthier quote unquote ingredients. You talk to a lot of bodybuilders and they're like, oh, I hate eating. I don't enjoy eating at all. I love eating. I look forward to going to the grocery store like, oh man, what's on the menu for this week? You know what sounds good? I haven't had Mexican food in a while. Maybe like an enchilada sounds good. Or like, ooh, you know what? Maybe like a chimichanga. I could make that work. When you pick the foods that you like and you just alter them and update the ingredients to make them fit into your goals, that will make all the difference in the world. And there's an interesting side effect that I noticed from doing that, which is that I track my calories. I use MyFitnessPal and I plug my stuff in, which leads me to my next point. Track your calories, at least starting out, at least for a little while to get the hang of it. It takes all the guesswork out of it. It's like, did I hit my calories and protein and macros and everything for the day? Let's see. Yep, I did. What I'll typically do is I'll pick up my menu for the week. I'll do like a breakfast thing. I'll do like a bigger meal, and then I'll do something for dessert. And that'll be my menu for the week. And then when I go to the grocery store on Saturday or Sunday, I say, okay, what's the menu for this week? And that's the way that I do it, so I don't get tired of it. And I've also noticed an interesting side effect of tracking my stuff in MyFitnessPal for so long, which is that one of the issues with when people start tracking their calories where it breaks down is, okay, well, it's easy when I do it at home and I've got my food scale and I'm weighing out 4 ounces of chicken. But what if I go to a restaurant? What if I go to dinner with my friends or something like that, and it's a nice steakhouse. They don't have the calories listed. Oh no, what am I supposed to do? When I was still meal prepping, my brain would short circuit. I was like, now I can basically look at a plate no matter where I'm going. I'm like, okay, this probably has like 30 something grams of protein. This whole plate is probably like 800 calories. It makes it a lot easier and a lot less stressful to just live some semblance of a normal life. Summarize 3 things that you can do if you think you're not getting the results that you want. 1, be more active just in life, not necessarily in the gym. Obviously, you should still be working out consistently, but just be more active in life. Just walk more errands, more chores, whatever. Second thing is look into flexible dieting. A lot of people I don't want to do this anymore. This sucks. I want to go back to what I was doing before. I don't like these foods. If you're eating homemade Chipotle bowls, protein cinnamon rolls, how are you possibly ever going to get tired of that? The third thing, track your calories, at least in the very beginning. Then, if you want to kind of ballpark it and just live, intuitive dieting as they call it, you'll be a lot more accurate in your guesses. And when you just go out and are eating, and you'll develop a sense of what 100 grams of protein looks like in a day, or however many carbs, or things like that. Yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of it. Lifted weights for 10 years. Now I'm in the best shape of my life. And yes, before you asked, this was a completely natural transformation. The only supplements I take are pre-workout, BCAAs, some creatine, monohydrate powder, basically it's all stuff you can get at like a GNC. It's nothing crazy. If you feel like you've hit a wall in your fitness journey and you don't really know what you're doing wrong anymore, take a look at what I did, and I hope that can be an inspiration to you, and I hope this can help you get the physique that you want. Now, if you like this video and you want to see more things from me, they won't necessarily all be as serious as this. Make sure to like this video and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.